First team are 1-0 down at half-time. Reserves are 1-0 down at half-time, top of the table.
Well, good afternoon to those of you watching us, or listening to us rather. I might be able to do a quick pan of the ground where we are at the moment. We're at Witton Albion this afternoon, Winsham Park. This is our view, the home fans and the away fans getting into fine voice. Sholing fans over there on the far side. Not sure if I can zoom in, I don't think I can. And that's our view. I've got Greg Dixon alongside me this afternoon to my left, and my colleague Matt Ogley to the right. We're just going to show you the surroundings just before kick-off. And this is what we're looking at. One goal that end. Sholing fans straight ahead. There's a nice little presentation with the match ball as well for this FA Vase quarter-final. Quick view of the team sheets, and here they come out of the tunnel. We will be doing live commentary very, very shortly, so stay tuned. So yes, welcome to Winsham Park, home of Witton Albion, where Northwich Victoria are facing Sholing FC this afternoon. It's the FA Vase quarter-finals here, Saturday the 23rd of February. What a day it could be for the boatmen. We'll start straight away with the starting lineup, starting with the home side. Number 1, Daniel Taberner. 2, Joe Camozzi. 3, Jack Fleming. 4, Ryan Winder. 5, Kieran Kenny. 6, Andrew Fitzgerald. 7, Harvey White. 8, and captain Bradley Cook. 9, Rob Dorham. 10, Joel Brownhill. And 11, Daryl Mason. For Sholing this afternoon, number 1, Ryan Gosney. 2, Terry Cuthbertson. 3, Marvin McLean. 4, Pete Castle. 5, Dan Miller. 6, Owen Roundell. 7, Alex Sawyer. 8, Byron Mason, and he's the captain today. 9, Dan Mason. 10, Lee Wart, and 11, Jake Hall. To the left of me this afternoon is Greg Dixon, Secretary of Sholing Football Club. Greg, you travelled up yesterday with the rest of the team. Obviously, I travelled up this morning. What was it like travelling with them?
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. Obviously, it was a long journey. When we got on the motorway, we could really only do about 40 miles an hour, so we ended up with a 6.5-hour journey. The boys were pretty chilled out. Hour after we arrived, we were having an evening meal. We all relaxed together, and then most of the boys were like, we've been here, done it all before, and they were well chilled out. And most of them went to their rooms just before 10. One or two of us sort of stayed in the bar and sort of just reflected on what the weekend was going to bring us, really. And then we had a nice relaxing time this morning. We all met up for breakfast at 8:30, and we stayed at the hotel till 12:30 when we left, and it was just a 15-minute drive here. So yeah, it's been we're pretty relaxed. You know, you can see the boys out there now. You know that, you know, I don't think there's any of them that are really nervous. You know, maybe Owen Roundell might be, because I don't think he was expecting to start. So Dave sort of threw a little bit of a curveball, bringing Owen in and dropping Owen Royal down to the bench, but. Yeah, that's what it is. All the boys have been there and done it before, so hopefully they'll come off the pitch and get the result they want. If we don't concede, the worst we're going to get is a replay. So,
and that means Northwich have to travel down to Sholing on presumably midweek.
No.
Or would it be on a weekend?
No. The match arrangements for all 4 ties are the following Saturday. So the 2 games that are being played today, if they finish as a draw today, we'll go to a replay next Saturday, and the 2 games being played tomorrow, if they go to a draw, they get played next Sunday. So yeah.
Well, there we go. Well, for Sholing's sake, it's not going to be a draw. There's going to be a clear winner, and it's going to be the team in red and white. So we hope. Sholing shooting left to right in this first half for where we're viewing, and Northwich get us underway in green and white today, kicking the ball straight out of play for a Sholing throw. Sholing in red and white stripes, black shorts, black socks. Really, it's a nice day. The sun's shining straight at us. There's a haze of cloud covering. Quite a nice sky. And the jacket's come off for the first time today. No need for a coat. It's just the hoodie on or the long sleeve shirt. Matt Ogley is next to me to my right. Matt, how was your travel up this morning?
Well, it was an early start, Matt. You picked me up about 7:15, if I remember correctly. Got to Sholing about 8 o'clock. We set off, made a stop up at Birmingham with the services, and we made our way up here about 12:30, close to 1. Nice relaxing journey. All the fans are really excited. It's the first time, I think, this season that we've been commentating on Sholing that we've, as you said, not had to wear a coat, not been freezing. It's a great ground and everyone's really up for it.
Everyone is up for it. And there's a nice big crowd as well settling in here at the home of Witton Albion, of course, Northwich Victoria. Currently ground sharing here at the moment. But a nice ground it is as well. Nevo stick north. The ball's floated forward, caught straight by Ryan Gosney, who's sporting a pinky purple style goalkeeper shirt today. So this one's dropped over towards the right hand side. It's Cuthbertson flicking this one forward towards Lee Wart down the right hand side, and he'll try and make his way past Jack Fleming. That'll be cleared out for a throw to Northwich, of course playing in green this afternoon. Right in front of us actually we've got Dave Diper, coach of Sholing, so we can see what's going on the touchline. Matt, I might get you to watch watch what's happening on the touchline. Keep an eye on the expressions that both team managers are putting on. And that one will be one for a Sholing throw. Bright start from both sides as we into the first 2 minutes of the game. Cuthbertson picking up the ball for a throw again on this right hand side, about halfway into the attacking half. Cuthbertson again launching that one forward, and that one will go to Dan Mason. Back to Cuthbertson in towards the box again, this time cleared away first by White, and that one will drop in towards the centre circle. Northwich now with a chance to pick up the ball. And Hall couldn't quite win that one back as it's played back by Kamosi. This one's flicked forward again, and Northwich now trying to launch their first attack as the fans get themselves behind the team. This one's dropped out for Mason, Daryl Mason, of course, for Northwich over on the left-hand side, trailing his way in towards the box, probably about 6. He's now onto the edge of the area, bringing it all the way back. This one will come back out to Jack Fleming. We're going to whip this one in from the left-hand side. That's a good header away initially by Sholing, but this one might drop back again for Ryan Winder. A bit of 1-2 passing from Northwich, and Sholing could get this one away. And Alex Sawyer was the man to initially start this counter. Northwich will win this ball back again. Tough fixture, of course, as we should mention. Northwich Victoria are in the North West Counties League. It's the same level as Sholing in the Wessex Premier, but here's some interesting stats for you. After 26 games, Northwich are 4th in their league with 47 points, but Sholing, after 23 games, 67 points and top of the league. Whether that's got a difference in the leagues remains to be seen. But early doors, nothing really to talk about. So over to Matt.
Well, I think that's the first sort of glimmer we've seen of Northwich. A little attack there, a nice ball in, but as usual, the main man, Dan Miller at the back, cleared it away. He's always the last line of defence there for Sholing, ever resilient. But I think Sholing have realised just in that one attack that they're not going to be in for an easy afternoon.
It's never easy travelling away from home. You've seen it with many teams before. It's always the home team. They've got the home fans behind them. And look at the net decks, the stand to our left. They've got the Sholing fans right ahead of us. In their numbers, fair play to them for travelling up. I mean, four and a half hours were we on that minibus this morning?
Yeah, it was 4.5 hours. I do believe you fell asleep on my shoulder, but it was a very smooth journey up. But goal kick here for Northwich up into the middle of the park. Looks like Dan Miller's going to head that one forwards. Still in the middle. Now on the right-hand side here with Brian Mason. He's passed out wide here to Cuthbertson. It's back in the middle to Lee Wart. Tries to get a shot off, blocked away by Northwich. It's headed forward again by Sholing. Oh.
Indeed, Northwich will pick this one back up in their own half, and that will be played down the left-hand side over the halfway line up towards the attacking front man. And again, Cuthbertson couldn't quite get hold of that one. I'll go up for a throw to the home side. As we were talking about the crowd, let's give you a tour of the ground. Well, not much is happening. Well, as we said, directly ahead of us, there's a little terrace stand, all standing. That's where the Sholing fans are at the moment. To the left is where it seems as though the ultras seem to go for Northwich in their numbers. As we said today, I reckon around about 600 or so.
We've brought up probably nearly 100 that's travelled, because we've obviously some coming up on the coach yesterday. We had 2 minibuses today, as you know, you travelled up on, and we've had quite a few people drive up today. So when I spoke to the secretary during the week, he was hoping maybe 700, but I think it's slightly less than that looking around. But they were hopeful because obviously Man United, Man City not playing today, but the problem they've got is Eastleigh are playing Salford, so there probably some fans gone that way as well. But yeah, it's always good to play in front of a good crowd. Dave's well happy that we're playing in front of a good crowd. You know, we're used to playing in front of big crowds, so it won't faze us. So the boys will probably enjoy it.
We're showing with a quick free kick while we were talking there, and it's got back to Dan Mason, and here's Alex Sawyer. His attempt is blocked, and now Northwich will attempt to get this one clear. Sholing just trying to put the pressure on, as we saw in the last round against Sporting Kelsa, 3-0 up. Nice and easy for them. And Dave Diper seemed disappointed not to go out in the second half in that game and get more. As Sholing just struggling to clear the lines. The home fans definitely trying to build up the atmosphere, and it's definitely working. They've got a big drum, quite a few fans. They were in the bar earlier here at the ground, and they were making a lot of noise. It's actually quite hard to write my match notes, or the remainder of them, when we were sat in there. We got there around about 2 hours before kickoff, and then it got to an hour before, and that's when it really started to go loud for the home side. Sholing still putting the pressure on, though, on the field. This one will drop across the back over the halfway line now for Northwich. Here is Darryl Mason. He will take a tumble. The home fans asking for a foul. Referee doesn't see anything wrong, and Lee Wart now will take this one down the right-hand side. Can't get past Jack Fleming. Go back to Taberner in goal. As we were describing the ground before that, there's a decent number of fans here today. There's a snack bar on the far right corner. It looks very appetising. I think we had some chips earlier as well. So very nice, very decently priced, and surprisingly very good. And I was just hoping actually to start the ball count. Every game we do, myself and Matt, we count how many balls disappear outside the ground. That one was very close to going, and we could have ticked it off as number 1.
I think our record overall has been about 7, all in all. Just watching these early encounters, the game hasn't really settled into a rhythm yet. Everyone's looking a little bit nervous, a little bit touchy. It's hopefully we'll see Lee Wharton and Dan Mason, the prolific goal scorers for Sholing, settle into the game. They've not really had any chances either of them yet. But the ball's now been played out wide into the far right-hand corner, and it'll be a Northwich throw-in.
Oh dear. Well, for those of you that know me, I happen to support Aston Villa. They're 1-0, 5 minutes in. I said to our colleague Luke Henry back at Radio Sonar that Villa would concede an early goal, and what's happened today? They've conceded an early goal. Anyway, nothing to do with that. We're covering the FA Vase today. It's the quarter-final of the Build-Base FA Vase. Northwich Victoria against Sholing FC, 0-0, and we played around about 9 to 10 minutes of this one so far. And here come Northwich now trying to make their way through. Joel Brownhill, their top goal scorer on 20 goals, almost finding the end of that ball. Ryan Gosney will pick this one up. The home fans definitely getting behind their boys today. And while we are covering the FA Vase, we're going to try and get you some of the scores from around the country. Of course, the early kick-off in the Premier League finished Burnley 2, Tottenham 1. A shock, Harry Kane starting for the first time since his injury. Going around the grounds, Middlesbrough are 1-0 up against QPR. Howson scoring early on for Borough. And the only other goal, Preston are 1-0 up away at Millwall. Still remains 0-0 here at and referee, it's an offside call over on the right hand side. Referee just making sure the players are okay. As up steps Tabernet. And he'll stick this one on the line where the linesman wants him to put it. And he's not wasting any time. It's a clearance away with his left boot over towards the right hand side. Not towards the men in green that are flooding their way forward. And that one will drop over for Rob Doran. Out of play. We do have to say a very big congratulations to Byron Mason, making his 550th appearance for the Boatmen this afternoon. Can he cap that off with a victory here and a place for his side in the semi-finals of the FA Vase, of course, Sholing winning it back in 2014. But Northwich have the first corner of the game. To the delight of the home fans, it will be Harvey White that will go over, put the ball on the spot. Whether he will take it or not, I don't think he will. Brownhill, in fact, has gone over to put the ball. Harvey White stayed short just in case. He'll be covered. That has been played short. It'll be whipped in low, and that one will drag out for a goal kick. So the hype of the home fans has disappeared.
Well, if those are how the corners are going to be from Northwich all afternoon, then I think Sholing will be very happy. That was a he completely botched that and dragged it behind the goal, so it'll be a Sholing goal kick, and Gosney will take.
We were talking about Brownhill. He's the top goal scorer for Northwich on 20, with Rob Doran on 15. Compare that to Sholing, with Dan Mason currently lying on 49, Lee Wart on 38, and Target on 14. So you can definitely see where the goals are going to come from. And as we said, Sholing have scored in every game since their 3-0 loss to Slough in the FA Cup qualifying round replay. And that was back in September. So we should be seeing some goals from the visitors today. That one will go out for a throw to the visitors. Dan Miller. I think, Matt, you described him as the Van Dijk of Sholing, didn't you, earlier?
Well, he is. I mean, how many times when we've been commentating on Sholing, Matt, has he been the last man? Always there, always to clear it, nothing silly, always just out to safety. He is the resilient Dan Miller, and yes, I think if it wasn't for him, I think we could see a few more goals this season.
Very worthy player. Is he worthy of taking this team through to the Wembley pitch? A nice smooth carpet that is Wembley, and a clash between two Northwich players just to the right of the centre circle has stopped play as the physio comes on. It looks as though Fitzgerald is down. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with him at the moment. Two physios have actually run onto the field of play at the moment. Might be a time to have a look around some of the scores elsewhere. We can get hold of some of them. Bristol City have taken a 1-0 lead away at Norwich. That's quite a shock. Norwich, of course, looking to get automatic promotion out of the Championship, high flying as well. Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 up against Swansea. Reach scoring that one. Swansea reaching the victory already. Sorry, Matt.
That's your first pun on this afternoon, Matt, and I've got to say that was absolutely dreadful.
Unfortunately, it's got to be done. Bournemouth 1-0 up against Wolves. A King penalty. He's back on the score sheet again, always firing goals. We're still waiting for the physios to look after the Northwich players. Sholing just coming over to the touchline for a splash of water. bit of a get-together. Byron Mason just talking there to Alex Sawyer about something very early on in the game. We've played 15 minutes so far. It's Northwich 0, Sholing 0. It's the Builder Base FA Vase quarter-final. And it looks as though Northwich, their man's okay. I think it is Andrew Fitzgerald who will be walking off and hopefully walking back onto the field as well. Gets a lovely round of applause from the fans.
I'm really impressed with the home support here from Northwich. They are absolutely drowning out any other noise. I mean, we're struggling to hear ourselves, in fact, Mr. Ponter, this afternoon. But I think we're yet to see a real clear chance from either side. And until we do, this game will not get itself a rhythm, I don't think. So I think Sholing will... They usually like to get themselves an early goal, and that's exactly what they'll be wanting to do. They won't want this to stay 0-0 for too long.
And the ball's finally cleared away by Taberner upfield towards the right-hand side, around about the halfway line. And it's flicked on by Kamosi down the right, and this one will drop back in towards the centre of the field. Again, it's bouncing around. Dan Miller's there as well, along with McLean. Dan Miller is going to nod that one out for a corner. And he's that man again, just gives the photographer a bit of a nudge. The photographer actually fell off his stool.
But yet again, I mean, I said it 2 minutes ago, Dan Miller there again, seeing out the danger. I mean, it's a Northwich corner here, and we'll just see what sort of they can maybe improve upon their first corner. Looking at goals elsewhere, Birmingham have just taken the lead against Blackburn. Preston are now 2-0 up against Millwall. In terms of Northwich corner, it was taken, just caught now by Ryan Gosney, safely held. He'll look to clear this upfield.
Well, as he drops the ball down, thanks for that, Matt. And of course, I've got Greg to my left as well, that we'll be getting the thoughts of very shortly. But for those of you that are listening for the first time, this isn't usually how we do our live commentary. In fact, we'll come back to that in just a moment. There's a shot there from Lee Wart, just on the right-hand side of the box in towards... It was on target anyway, but Taberner was going to catch that one. Took a deflection on the way through as well. But for those of you listening for the first time, usually we broadcast on Radio Sonar, and that's the Southampton Solent University student radio station. You can find that on radiosonar.co.uk. But today we're doing it via YouTube, and thank you for those of you that are listening. We can see there are 14 of you at the moment tuning in. Those of you that couldn't make it here today, or those of you that are here and listening through your headphones, we really do appreciate it. In fact, it's brilliant. I do love it. I do love it when a plan goes together. I didn't even know if this was going to work today. So it's fantastic as the ball's knocked on there by Dan Mason towards Lee Wart on the right-hand side. That will be knocked out. Last, actually, that will be a throw-in to the home side. The away side, rather. I'm used to watching Sholing at the Universal Stadium. It's not very often we get to travel with them. This afternoon, it's been an enjoyable journey up indeed. That one's thrown in by Cuthbertson. In towards the box, safe hands there from Taberner. And he'll launch this one clear down the right-hand side as quickly as possible. But no one was going to reach that one, and it will actually go out for a Sholing throw. So the ball's over on the far side right now. Marvin McLean launches that one forward up towards the box. No one's going to get there, and Taberner will collect that one and roll that one out straight away. This time down the left-hand side up towards the halfway line now. A lovely run there from Daryl Mason in towards the box. Almost found Rob Doran and cleared away again by Sholing.
Well, that's ball number 2, I believe, Mr. Ponter. Ball just gone behind us there. One thing I've noticed so far from Northwich is they're moving the ball up the pitch very quickly. A lot of long balls. But yet again, they get a ball into a dangerous area, into the box, running on. But Dan Miller there to save the day and clear the ball again. So it's a Northwich throw in here on the left-hand side, taken by Fleming. And he'd been looking for some options. And it's just played it to Ryan Winder. He's still holding possession in the bottom corner. And it's just gone out for another Northwich throw-in on this left-hand side.
Playing a lot tighter, Northwich, than they would usually. After speaking to a few of their fans in the bar before the game, they do like to play quite wide. And of course, this pitch doesn't quite cater to that. It's not the widest pitch in the world, but sometimes you've got to play to your strengths. And so far, Sholing have dealt with those very well indeed, as one of the stewards has actually collected one of the balls. So does that mean we can scrap one off the ball count? Corner comes in, headed wide, and that will go out for a goal kick. So we have to get rid of one of our ball counts now because it's been returned.
No, because we can make the assumption that all the balls that go over at the Universal Stadium are eventually collected, otherwise they would spend all their budget on new footballs. So
Taberner will just bounce the ball. We're about 20 minutes into the game. Greg, you've been watching on quite patiently, really. How have you seen the first 20 minutes?
Well, obviously it's a little bit cat and mouse. Probably you might sort of say it's a little bit erratic as well, but obviously they're feeling one another out. We're seeing quite a lot of activity in the dugout area. They seem to be a little bit animated in there, but I think from a refereeing point of view, I really don't think he's got anything wrong out there today, you know, and because we're at this stage of the competition, like you just seen then with the ball going out, everyone's appealing for everything. So it's going to be. The good thing is that even though we're in the minority as supporters, the Sholing's ultras are really making themselves heard over there as well. So that's good. So they're not being intimidated. So they're again another decision where everyone wants the ball, you know. So I think that's what the game's going to be about today. And you know, there's not really been any clear-cut chances. Maybe the odd goal might sneak.
Again for a throw, and it's Fleming again. Where's he going to launch this one? He's going to play this one back to his teammate, back to Fleming again. It was Winder he played it back to in towards the box. It reaches the head of Brownhill, almost drops there for White. Brownhill tries to collect this one back again, and Hall will clear that one down the left-hand side. No one forward though, apart from Dan Mason for Sholing. As that ball flies over the head of Byron Mason. Drops for Wart, tried to play it into Byron Mason, back to Winder again in the centre of the park. That'll be launched forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Dan Mason, strong header to launch that one away and out of danger for the time being. White loses possession, and here comes Sholing on the attack. Hall in towards the middle of the park. Here's Byron Mason. Just passes the centre circle over towards the right-hand side of the field, and that one will almost go through towards Lee Wart. It won't reach him. Again, Sholing have to be careful at the back. There's a lot of pressure coming on. As there goes Bradley Cook down towards the left-hand side, in towards White, with a good chance to put the ball in. That one will be picked up by Roundel, nice and easily. Sholing again try and clear this one out of their own half. Wart's actually taking it from the right-hand side over to the left across the halfway line. He's still running with this one. It will be knocked on to Hall. Just about managing to keep that one in. Kept it in across the line. He fizzed across as well, around about 2 yards. And Taberner will catch that one again.
I think Lee Ward sort of realised he's struggling a little bit down that right-hand side at the moment. He's not quite having the normal success that he usually does. The balls aren't coming off quite simple there, and he's across the other side, the left side of the pitch, on the left wing. He's got a ball down the way cool. A good shame that nobody was...
Still 0-0. We played about 23 minutes now of this game. And again, it'll be Jack Fleming for Northwich to launch that one back. And that will go over towards the right-hand side towards Joel Brownhill. He'll flick that one back in towards the middle. Byron Mason picking up that one nice and easily. And this one will drop for Owen Roundel. Cuthbertson making the run down the right-hand side. He's got Daryl Mason trying to prevent him. He's going to try and get the block in, crossing, sorry, on his right foot. It's gone out for a corner to Sholing. Just looking at the players running forward. Pete Castle, Dan Miller, Byron Mason making their way to the edge of the area. Sholing have their chance from the corner here, over on this near side. Alex Sawyer in with his right boot in towards the box, headed away by Manning Green first, and now Northwich can try and clear this one away. It's launched forward. McLean will just play that one nicely back to Ryan Gosney, who launches that ball straight down the middle. It will bounce over everyone. In fact, it's dropped straight for Lee Wart. Wart with a chance here, into the back of the net. The lead. A ball. 25 minutes on the clock. Ryan Gosney under a little bit of pressure. Kicked the ball straight upfield. Lee Wart onside because he was behind the halfway line. What a goal. It's 1-0.
Well, it's a cracking assist there from Ryan Gosney. Obviously slightly accidental, but the ball's played out in the middle of the park. He's missed all the defenders and has fallen to Lee Ward, who's unmarked, and he's ran 20 yards and he's put it into the bottom left-hand corner. For what has been a notoriously quiet game for Lee Ward so far, that is an excellent goal, and that is 1-0 Sholing.
Well, we were just saying this game needed a goal, and it's got a goal, and it's gone to the visitors of Sholing in red and white this afternoon. And now you can see the positivity winning their foul. Greg, what a goal.
Wow, what can you say? We haven't conceded away from home. They haven't conceded at home, so maybe you'd like to think that it was going against run of play, really, because that's really our first chance. We've had sort of one effort on goal. They cleared the corner, and we were 3 against 2. Ball went back to Ryan. Goz hit a perfect ball up the middle, and Warty was there just to dissect. And that first touch, once he took the first touch, he knew exactly where he was going to go, you know. And we, as you know, we had the perfect angle on behind him. So, you know, and like I said just now after I cheered, I've not seen Dipes celebrating a game like that since we were at Wembley. So, you know, maybe the writing is on the cup again. I don't know.
Maybe he's just warming himself up. You know, it's the audition before the next stage. Then you've got the judges' houses. Then you got the final.
might be time to get the new suits ordered.
Do we get one as well when we come along as well?
I can certainly get you on board. Yeah, I can get you to come down and do the commentary, mate. I can look after the media side for you.
It's been a long time since I've had a trip to Wembley where I don't have to worry about a certain team losing. I've been to Wembley plenty of times with Aston Villa. It might be indeed. There's been.
I was at the '99 final when they lost to Chelsea.
So has my dad. My dad's never seen Villa win in the FA Cup at Wembley. I've seen them win the League Cup. 1996, the last time Villa won the League Cup against Leeds, a 3-0 win. So
I think no one's caught on the fact, though, that you just made an X Factor pun, Mr. Ponter. I mean, please, be slightly more original, my friend.
Slightly more original. We'd have to go to The Voice for that. I don't even know what happens in that. Do we have to turn our chairs around to actually watch the game if we want to? No, I'm going to stop now. We're actually going to focus on the football again as we go into towards the half-an-hour mark. It's Northwich Victoria 0, Sholing 1. That goal in 25 minutes from Lee Wart. Played up from the back from Ryan Gosney. Under a little bit of pressure to clear that one away. Wart took control of the ball, ran forward and tucked it into the back of the net. So the referee, in the meantime, awarding a free kick to the home side. Joel Brownhill, the man winning that one. And the home fans still in full voice. They're going to be a key part, I think, to Northwich's pressure going forward.
I definitely think they're going to be really crucial. I mean, every time the ball's going to go anywhere near Gosney in this first half, that crowd are going to be absolutely electric. There's a free kick here now for Northwich on the right-hand side. Plenty of men forward. Only Lee Wart left up for Sholing, so obviously they're going to be worried about how they're going to be in this aerial battle. Referee just making sure everyone's in line and in position, and he'll be ready to blow his whistle. Okay, and it's fizzed in, back post, cleared away again by Dan Miller, headed back in by Northwich, cleared away again by Pete Castle. Now Northwich in possession on the left-hand side. It's a throw in here. Played down the wing to Mason. In possession still. They'll be trying to get a ball into this box. It's down the wing again to Jake Fleming. But safely caught by Ryan Gosney, the cross. Yes, so I mean, they're attacking Northwich, but Sholing is managing to maintain at the moment.
Just noticing that Ipswich have gone down to 10 men against Wigan Athletic in the Championship. We'll be having a look at some of the other scores. As far as I'm aware, Bournemouth are still leading Wolves by 1-0, and the other game in the Premier League at the moment is goalless. Again, Byron Mason winning that header back to Lee Wart. Couldn't quite get onto that. Lee Wart now on 39 goals this season. Cuthbertson, he's got a chance on the edge of the area. That one will go out wide and drop for a throw-in to the visitors. Having a look around the grounds, it's still Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0, and Newcastle 0, Huddersfield 0. Huddersfield, though, down to 10 men. Smith getting sent off for visitors in that one. We'll go back to the Championship at the moment. Cuthbertson in towards the box, and it will knock over everyone. Wart runs from the right to the left to pick this one up on the edge of the box. Passes it back down to the left towards McLean. Will try and work his way in towards the box, and Northwich trying their best to keep the ball at bay, and they have done, and won the goal kick. In the Championship, Birmingham 1, Blackburn 0, Brentford 1, Hull 1, Leeds 1, Bolton 1. Surprised to see Bolton scoring the first goal. Beavers on 23, and Patrick Bamford scoring the penalty. Middlesbrough have just gone 2-0 up at home to QPR. Preston are 3-0 up away at Millwall. Bristol are 1-0 up away at Norwich. Reading 1-0 up at home to Rotherham. Sheffield Wednesday 2-0 up at home to Swansea. In fact, 10-man Ipswich appear to have just scored away at Wigan. Aston Villa still trailing by 1-0 against Stoke.
I don't know if you noticed, Matt, but in the last just couple of minutes, the crowd levels have just slightly dropped. There's a shot there from Dan Mason, and it's just gone wide. There's a great chance there for Sholing. Be a Sholing corner on the right-hand side. They'll be hoping to capitalise. 2-0 going into half-time would be absolutely fantastic for David Diaper's team. But the Sholing supporters now are seeming to be more vocal than they're vastly outnumbered by the Northwich Ultras.
Very much so. I think that does show that when a team does go 1-0 behind, the fans to suddenly quieten down a little bit. What's the old chant? Sing when you're winning, I think we might be able to say. But, I don't think Northwich are close to scoring yet. Alex Sawyer is the man to ping this one in towards the box again from the corner. The keeper couldn't get there. Northwich just clearing the ball away again over towards the right-hand side. And here come Northwich now down the left. Daryl Mason down the left in towards the edge of the area. That will be blocked away by Cuthbertson out for a corner. If you notice, when Northwich do come forward, the noise level rises again. It's just when Sholing are on the attack and there's a Cuthbertson is down at the moment. I think he took quite a knock there. But you do really hear the noise levels rise.
Yes, you do, but that was quite impressive though from Daryl Mason. He was a lot of pace there, but yeah, Cuthbertson's just taking a slight winding. Nothing major. Just checking the rest of the scores around the ground before the corner is taken. And Brentford have gone 2-1 up now against Hull, so that will take them into the lead. But the corner here for Northwich, played short, cleared away. It's on the edge of the area. Alex Saw trying to clear. Northwich back in possession on the left-hand side here. Brownhill, he's got space, he's whipped the ball in, he's gone to the back post, well caught by Gosney. Fantastic goalkeeping there.
You just thought Brownhill could have switched that onto his right boot and maybe taken a shot at goal, but instead he went for the cross into the box, and Gosney knew exactly what was coming. He knew where to position himself, picked up the ball nice and easily. And that one almost finding its way through to Mason. Again, Ryan Gosney with a fantastic clearance upfield. Almost caught out Daniel Taberner. So we hit the 34-minute mark of this game. Hull with a bit of pressure over on the far side as Northwich work their way down the channels. It's a quick throw taken in towards the box. This one's gone to Doran. Sholing clear that one out. In fact, that's gone out for a Sholing throw on the far side. There's no rush really to take this at the moment. They're 1-0 up, 34 minutes gone, closing in on half-time. I'm not sure, Matt, could you see another goal coming out of this?
I mean, Sholing won't want to risk anything. They've got the lead. We are how strong they are defensively. If they get a breakaway goal for a second, then they'll take it. But they're not going to risk anything here. I mean, we're never really that close to Dave Dyer because he's always on the opposite side of the Universal Stadium. But he looks a very concentrated figure on that touchline. And I don't think I have really too many complaints going into half-time.
He does seem very relaxed. He's got his, looks like a very fancy bottle of water that he's just picked up. But, Northwich Victoria do have a free kick directly in front of us, so we're just to the left of the halfway line. It's pretty much in line with us. I think the referee's telling them to move back ever so slightly. He will do. In fact, he's been told to move back quite far back. I think it's about at least 10 yards or so. They do go on about gaining a few yards to, you know, enhance the free kick position, but there's only so many you can take. It'll be Harvey White to float that one in towards the box, and it has found its way level with the penalty area. Sholing will clear that one away. Wart. And Sawyer couldn't get a hold of that one. It will go over to the right-hand side with Kamosi now. In support is Harvey White in towards the box again. Dan Mason couldn't quite get onto that one. Out for a corner to the home side. Tensions rising again. Northwich, again, they've got the option to go short with Harvey White. Will they use him? They're not going to this time. It's low towards the goal, headed away at the first attempt. And Wart will pass that one back. It's given away, actually, to Daryl Mason. Running down the right-hand side. It will go out for a corner, appeals for a free kick or a penalty. The referee has given a corner. The home fans not too happy about that, but again, there's always that option for the short corner. Harvey White again asking for the short. Either that or Cook will play that one in. We wait to see. It has been played short and it's whipped in again. Dan Mason. I mean, when you're going to do a short corner like that, you've got to make sure you're in the right position. Offside.
I mean, that's the fifth corner we've seen, I think, from Northwich, and I think only one of them has got past the first man or not been offside. So if this is how the Northwich corners are going to be, we'll take a dozen of these all afternoon. It's a goal kick here for Sholing, and Ryan Gosney will take.
Greg, you rightly said then they didn't really know what they wanted to do then, did they?
Well, that's about their eighth corner, I think, we've Sholing have had one, and you would have thought that set pieces they would have known exactly what they wanted to do, but they were so hesitant on what they wanted to do. He came short, then he went long, and then he decided to come short again. And then the kicker actually gets caught offside, so they obviously didn't think about that one at all.
It's a rare incident when someone gets caught offside from a corner, and like you rightly said, it's quite embarrassing. Northwich, in the meantime, will continue to move forward. Ryan Winder now in the centre of the field, moving his way into the attacking third, and this one will be flicked through towards Harvey White. McLean just about knocking him wide. And over goes Owen Randall to knock that one out for a throw. Fantastic move from Harvey White to try and pick up the ball there, running forward. Just couldn't quite get the touch that he wanted onto the end of it. For those of you listening at the moment, we will be turning off the stream at half-time, just so we can get a breather, have a bit of water. Well, I say turn it off. You won't be able to hear anything throughout the half-time break, but we'll keep the stream running for you. So do stay tuned over the half-time period, and we'll be back for the second half. But at the moment, we're still playing. Probably got about 5 minutes or so left to go in this first half. Northwich with the throw. Drops for Doran. There's a chance for the ball to go in towards the box, and it's off over by McLean. Drops here for Fleming. Fantastic volley on the left boot. And McLean will clear that one out for a corner. Great chance.
That's great technique there from Jack Fleming. He just got his knee over the ball correctly, played on the half volley, but the volley to clear it was even better. But it's a Northwich throw-in, played it back to Fleming. He's trying to get it back. Appeals for handball there from the Northwich fans. Referees dismissed them completely. It's cleared away by Sholing, and it goes out for another throw-in here on the near side, just in front of us here. Yes, very displeased with that appeal there, Northwich fans. I will be honest, Matt, it did look a bit like handball to me.
Well, referee Tom Reeves thought otherwise as the ball's whipped in towards the box again. Offside from Daryl Mason, who put the ball in, and that will peter out the attack, or any form of attack. Touchline, Northwich Victoria getting very, very animated. Dave Diper and his coaches are quite calm, quite relaxed. He's standing with his arms crossed on the edge of his touchline, or he's on the edge of his area. And the technical area, of course. But there's 4 men for Northwich Victoria, 5 standing up, all pointing at different players on the field. Looking very, very serious indeed. This one drops over from the goal kick from Gosney towards Wart down the right-hand side, trying to play that one through to Dan Mason. Drops out for a throw to the visitors in red and white as we approach half-time here. Currently stands in the FA Vase quarter-final. Northwich Victoria 0, Sholing 1. Lee Wart with the only goal on 25 minutes, tucking the ball past Taberner from a fantastic ball from Gosney. It has to be said. Over on this right-hand side, Cuthbertson just looking to pick up the ball. I do believe that's gone out for a throw. And the short run from Sawyer. Darren Mason got the first head onto it, and it's won back again by Lee Wart. Just couldn't get the second touch on. Goes in very, very deep. Referee's going straight into his pocket. He's got the red card out. He took a heavy touch on the ball, Lee Wart. He went in on his man. And the referee, Tom Reeves, has got his card out. And that's it from goal scorer to picking up a red card, all in the first half.
Well, that's really, it was going so well for Sholing this first half. They sustained a lot of pressure. They've been clinical with the few chances they had. They managed to take a 1-0 lead through Lee Wart, but he was so brash there. Both studs up into the Northwich defender, and the referee didn't even hesitate, as you just said, Matt, and he sent him straight off. Lee will be absolutely devastated because he's not that sort of player usually, and he's so crucial to this side. So it'll be very interesting to see how the early stages of the second half are, and what Dave Diper maybe does to modify the team to keep them defensively solid and still showing enough promise in attack.
3 minutes to go until half-time. That's definitely changed up the plans for Sholing. And it will change up the plans for Northwich as well with the man advantage. There's a big queue of fans to our right now. I think they're trying to get round to the snack stand, as far as I'm aware. I'm not really sure what's going on, unless they're trying to rile up the touchline as the ball's flipped in by Brownhill. Northwich on the front foot straight away. Sholing don't look too phased at the moment. Of course, they want to get into half-time at the break, and that's a complete miss kick for the Northwich striker. Just trying to find out who that was. Waiting for him to turn around so we can see his number. Miss kick from Joe Camozzi. And I'll tell you what, if he'd have got his foot onto the end of that, it might have at least tested Gosney or found the back of the net. Either way, it's launched upfield straight away towards Dan Mason. Lovely turn on his left, and that one will go straight to Tavernier. Down towards the right-hand side from Tavernier, up towards the path of Doran. Ryan Gosney straight out to pick up the ball.
Sholing there's only a couple of minutes left this first half. Sholing have got to make sure they do not concede now. I must say Ryan Gosney's been very, very solid in goal here for Sholing this first half. He's playing the ball from upfield now in towards Mason. Back into Northwich possession in the middle of the park. They play a long ball forward with number 9 Rob Duran chasing, but it's going straight back to Gosney, who will calmly collect and have possession. So yes, we are 45 minutes are up, 2-minute stoppage, and Sholing will be wanting to keep this at level. Dave Diper will be definitely having stern words at half-time, making sure the side do not lose their concentration or shape despite going down to 10 men. But the ball's on the right-hand side here, battling. It's in the possession of Ryan Winder. He's taking his time. Obviously, won't be under as much pressure in his own half now with the one-man advantage. He plays a long ball forward on his left line, and that's number 11, Darryl Mason, chasing. Goes out for a Northwich throw-in. They will be applying the pressure in these last stages. Jack Fleming's running to receive the ball. First time ball's played in, headed away there by Sholing. Now ball still in possession. Ryan Winder looking to get another cross in towards the back post. It's on the end of him, and it's a goal! It's a goal for Northwich. And it brings it level. Rob Duran with the goal at the far post header. And it brings it Sholing 1, Northwich Victoria 1 on the stroke of half time. And it could not have happened at a worse time. Sholing looks slightly deflated, but they've got to make sure they keep their heads up. But as I said there, Ryan Winder picks the ball up first time, plays across into the back post, and Brownhill was there to receive the end of it and just glance it in to the right hand corner. So yes, Matt, not good.
Unfortunately, I could see that coming when the ball went in towards the box. He made the run, got the header. We thought it was Rob Doran that scored. It turns out it's Bradley Cook, according to the announcer. Captain Bradley Cook. Well, it was Doran that got it. Gosney's come out in the meantime to get that one away. They have to run back to goal. The referee calls for half-time. Wow, what a first half it's been. A bit of confusion, and our apologies for that, over the score of the equaliser. It has been given to Captain Bradley Cook for Northwich Victoria. Here at half-time, in the FA Vase quarter-final, Northwich Victoria 1, Sholing 1. Lee Wart got the opening goal for Sholing on 25 minutes. A ball through from Ryan Gosney from the back. Found him in loads of space, made the run, took the ball to the left past Taberner, or from where we were looking. And then, just before half-time, Lee Wart lost the ball, went in for a challenge, and the referee, Tom Rees, produced a red card right in front of him. And just on the stroke of half-time, as you just heard there, Bradley Cook putting the ball into the back of the net with a fantastic header, it has to be said. Great cross put in from this left-hand side. So half-time, 1-1, Matt.
I'm not normally one for cliches or puns, Matt, but this has now got something of a Rocky fight written all over it. They're now one man down. They've just conceded. They've got the crowd firing against them. They've got an uphill battle here second half, and they've got to really give everything they've got if they're going to get through to that semi-final.
Well, we're going to take a break now here at half-time. We'll keep the stream on, so do stay tuned. But right now, we're going to turn off the microphone and catch a breather. We'll be back for the second half. Well, thank you for those of you that have stayed on. We're back now for the second half as the teams re-emerge onto the field of play. In fact, I'm just going to lift the camera up just to show you what's been going on. Of course, Sholing now down to 10 men, with Lee Wart being sent off with a straight red. As you can see to the left there, where the home fans were to start with, they've completely moved. Sholing fans remain down the middle, but if we go over to the right, you'll be able to see now where the home fans have moved to. Everyone's queuing up still at the snack bar. And on the touchline here as well, Dave Diper returns with a cup of coffee. So he seems more relaxed than you'd think, Matt.
Well, he's the last person that can be really getting sort of nerves and how the rest of the players going to feel. So Sholing really got to start this half strongly, confident. They've got to be relaxed still at the back. They can't do anything too brash, and they've just got to sort of feel their way through this second half and hope they can maybe clinch a winner. Really, Matt.
Well, we're Sholing just about ready to get underway. It's Dan Mason that kicks off the second half for the Boatmen. It's 1-1 here at Wincham Park, home of Whitton Albion Football Club of the Evo Stick Northern Premier League, rather. Northwich Victoria against Sholing, of course, is the game here today. Northwich now shooting left to right, wearing green and white shirts, white shorts and green socks. Sholing in red and white shirts, black shorts and black socks. Northwich starting off on the front foot straight away down the left-hand side with Jack Fleming. As games kick off around the country once again. And for those of you that are listening, we can go to the Premier League actually. Newcastle have scored against Huddersfield. Salomon Rondon getting his name on the score sheet there. Well, the teams are back out on the field. Let's run through them, starting with Northwich again. In goal for Northwich, Daniel Taberner. We've got 2, Joe Camozzi, 3, Jack Fleming, 4, Ryan Winder, 5, Kieran Kenny, 6, Andrew Fitzgerald, 7, Harvey White, 8, captain Bradley Cook. Dan Mason just missing a chance there over on the right-hand side. Fizzed in towards him, got the touch on. Couldn't get the ball into the back of the net. Bradley Cook, captain for Northwich Victoria anyway, scoring the goal on 46 minutes. A fantastic header. 9, Rob Dorham. 10, Joel Brownhill. 11, Daryl Mason. Sholing just trying to pick up the loose ball. Of course, now down to 10 men. We'll go through their team in just a moment when the ball next goes out of play. We'll play Peters out a little bit. Surely that was a handball from Daryl Mason, and it's gone straight through to Daryl Mason. His shot on his right foot blazed wide, but that was a clear shout for handball. I think we heard it hit his hand.
Do you know what? I think that's karma, Mr. Ponter, because that was a clear handball. It's come out then wide to Daryl Mason, and he's just slashed it, and it's gone wide of the right post, and it'll be a goal kick here for Sholing. We quite often talk about when we were at the Universal Stadium about how Sholing do play quite a high line. Well, Northwich Victoria definitely do the same. You can see almost their entire defence is almost on that halfway line. They're going to press Sholing really strongly in these early stages, and Sholing will do everything they can just to keep them at bay. And the ball's now played on the left-hand wing here for Northwich Victoria, headed out of touch by number 4, Pete Castle. Northwich throw in here on the left-hand side to be taken by Jack Fleming. He'll play it back inside to number 8, Bradley Cook, the captain and the goal scorer. He's switched play to the right-hand side for Joe Camozzi. He'll be looking to hold play back inside again to number 4, Ryan Winder. He switched play against the left-hand side to Jack Fleming. He's here dribbling at Cuthbertson, but the ball will go out of play for a Northwich throw-in again on the left-hand side.
Northwich definitely piling on the pressure early on. And what a start to the second half this is going to be. Here is Winder in towards the box, and that one will go straight over everyone. Doran blocked away by Dan Miller. And that one will go out for a throw to Northwich. Northwich with a chance from the throw on this near side over towards our right. Floated in, blocked out. We'll go for a corner. And as we described earlier, the fans have moved from the left to the right. So the left side is completely empty now, really, behind the goal. Everyone moving to the right and making the noise further away from us, so it's a bit harder to hear. That one will drop for Ryan Wilder. Gets the shot away. Gosney will collect that one nicely. Greg, you were talking to me just off the microphone about the formation that Dave's gone for in the second half. Just tell me a bit more about what you can see.
Well, obviously going down to 10 men, it looks like Dave's made the midfield just a little bit narrower. He's brought Jake Hall and Alex Sawyer in a little bit, and it looks like he's reverted to a diamond formation, which he's played before. So it looks like he's putting Byron up front and Owen back in front of the defence. And obviously the last couple of attacks they've like interchanged, so it seems to be working well. Obviously we're going to be under pressure, I would imagine, this half, but in football sometimes it's a lot difficult to play against 10 players, so you know, it could even itself out, you know, and I think as long as the boys don't get too rattled by, you know, maybe some of the decisions, I think maybe some of their players might be calling for see a classic mistake there, so I think they might be calling a little bit more for some of the decisions for the referee. They might try and influence the referee a little bit more now that we've had one player sent off. But I think our boys mentally will be okay, and Dykes has had a good chat with him. And obviously it was good to see that Mark Diaper had all the players together out on the pitch, and obviously he put his case across to them. And I see that's their last two shots, mate. They're not even shooting on target, so it's quite embarrassing. It's also a little bit embarrassing that the referee made Gosney change his top, and Goz has actually got one of their shirts on, so which is quite interesting. I believe it's called fuchsia, the colour that he's playing in now, rather than purple.
We're just going to call it pink, I think, just to separate purple and pink. Fuchsia's a very nice name.
That sounded a little bit like slander there, Greg. Were you slagging off Northwich Victoria there?
He might have been. There was a shot from Joel Brownhill just blazing wide, of course, as Greg described as an embarrassing shot. Sholing trying to clear the ball away, out for Northwich Victoria again, over on the far side. Back in full voice again, Northwich Victoria. We were talking about the idea of cheer when you're winning. Well, they're drawing at the moment. They've got the man advantage. But as Greg rightly said, Matt, it's not always easy to be playing against 10 men.
No, it's not, because what often happens in these scenarios is that when you're down a man, you then think more cautiously about the way you play. And you end up getting a lot more men behind the ball, and it becomes almost like part of the bus. But Sholing on attack, they got the back to goal of Dan Mason. He's played the ball through. Byron get a shot off. He falls to ground in the penalty area, but no appeal. Played back at the field by Northwich Victoria. Dan Miller clears again, as usual. Jake Hall trying to keep it in. He's kept it in, but only to a Northwich player. It's in the middle of the park. It's played upfield into Rob Duran. Handball appeals again, completely disregarded by the referee, and it's in Northwich Victoria's possession. They played it down the right hand side again. And number 7, Harvey White chasing that one. But Dan Miller again there to clear the ball to safety, but it's been given a Sholing throw in here, controversially by the linesman. But these Northwich Victoria fans really are in full voice. It's actually made our job a lot easier in this second half, Matt, because first half they were very close to us and it was almost drowning out our monotonous tones.
Well, I'm sure people listening at home would rather hear us talk about the game than listening to some fans chant about a team that no one really cares about, if they're listening from down south, of course. Usually we do a commentary on Southampton Solent University's radio station, which is Radio Sonar. Today, for unfortunate reasons, there's no one actually in the studio running the show, so that's why we're doing it as a live stream on YouTube. We might even be doing this more often than not. Full-time Sholing reserves 1, Hamble reserves 1. So that's a full time from earlier today. A good point there for the reserve team. As this one's played forward by Northwich Victoria down towards the right-hand side. Here's Harvey White now. Opportunity to put it in towards the box. Great block there from Owen Roundel to stop that one from going in towards the box, and a throw-in on this near side. And really, Northwich have had all the possession so far, not really made the most of it as it stands. There is the goal scorer, Bradley Cook, and captain, of course, for the home side today. He's back to him again now. Winder flicks this one in. He's got a chance to open up on his left boot, and he will do. And that one will just go wide and out for a goal kick.
I think I'm right in saying, Matt, that Northwich Victoria have not actually had a shot on target so far this second half. All 3 or 4 of their efforts have all gone wide of the post, but not even close. They've all gone quite comfortably. Ryan Gosley's not got to worry in that regard, but it's a goal kick here for Sholing. The crowd behind him trying to put him off, but Ryan Gosley's far too confident to let that affect him. It's gone straight to a Northwich player in possession on the right-hand side. He's played the ball down wing, and at number 7, Harvey White will chase. It's gone out of play for a Sholing throw-in. They don't look too nervy, really, at the back still, Matt. They look quite comfortable, and they're managing to withstand anything that Northwich are throwing at them. Dave Diaper, again, does not look at all stressed. He looks quite confident. So see what happens.
Well, it's not one of the defenders that has been sent off, and I think that's where Sholing are probably happier, if you can be happy about a sending off in any respect. But the fact coming into the second half that they have got their full defence, most of their midfield, and of course Dan Mason up top, looking for his 50th goal, of course, and that's floated in towards the box, almost reaches Dan Mason at the far post. Kamosi will clear that one away, and Sholing will win this one back again. Byron Mason trying to run onto the end of that one. Here's McLean. Bring this one over towards the left-hand side, showing his pace now down the left. He needs someone in option to pick that one up. It's came at flick back. And Mason couldn't quite control that one. Northwich Victoria run away with the ball. Byron Mason putting some pressure on now, winning the ball back from Ryan Winder. And Hall winning a nice, cheap free kick for Sholing. Right on the halfway line. Some good play there from Sholing, losing the ball, putting the pressure on, winning it back again. Going back to what we were saying, the fact Lee Wart's been sent off and not one of the defenders, I think that really does prove that Sholing can they've still got their formation minus one player, of course. And like Greg said, they're playing a lot narrower. They've got the diamond in the middle between Owen Roundel and Byron Mason. They've got that little switcheroo, as we can call it. The little switch in the middle. There you go, switcheroo, great. Sawyer plays the ball over towards the right-hand side, flicked in towards the box, and Pete Castle was there to try and get onto the end of it. Here comes Daryl Mason trying to chase this one, and there's a push on the keeper, Ryan Gosme and Cuthbertson. What's the referee going to do here? Daryl Mason was chasing, and Terry Cuthbertson, TJ, pushed in the back. Gosney can just calm things down a little bit. Very dangerous though that was from Daryl Mason. He's quite quick.
Well, quite impressive burst of pace there, but the ball's gone forward for Sholing. Can Dan get... Oh! He's managed to get his head on it, but he's gone nowhere near the direction of the goal. Northwich will manage to clear here. Byron Mason will put pressure on them. Going to try and box him in here, Sholing, on Northwich. They managed to clear the ball away again. Again, headed forward by Sholing. Cleared forward again by Sholing. Can Dan Mason get his head on the ball and bring the ball down? Jake Hall's in possession now on the edge of the area. Can he get onto his favoured foot and get a shot off? Falls again to Dan Mason. Curling effort. Oh, it's on target, but straight into the hands of Daniel Taverner. Great pressure there from Sholing. Definitely not looking like a side that are one man down.
They're not a goal down either. It is, of course, 1-1 as ended the first half. Of course, the equaliser from Bradley Cook for Northwich coming right on the stroke of half-time. Bristol City 2, Norwich City 2 is the latest score. Hull City are 4-1 down to Brentford. Birmingham Blackburn, that's now 1-1. We'll go through the rest of the scores in just a moment. Northwich, though, again trying to push forward. But Sholing, when they do make their way forward, you can see the worry in Northwich's defence. Mason again as the men in green flood their way back. Here's Hall. Showing no immediate pressure to move forward. Here's McLean down the left-hand side, trying to find someone in the box to cross to. He's going to have to come over to the touchline and try and win this one back. Hall will try and get onto the end of that one, but now it's a chance for the men in green to run forward. Harvey White and Byron Mason will win that one back. Back to Gosney in goal, back out to Byron Mason. Clever little pass, very, very risky though. Here's Hall, McLean. We've got listeners from down south. Thank you very much for listening today. Of course, we're trying to provide commentary for those that couldn't make it here to Whitton Albion ground up in Cheshire today. And that one will be cleared out for a throw to Sholing on this near side. In the meantime, Darryl Mason ran over. Great pace again, just to stop that one from going for a goal kick, and instead clearing it out for the throw, so Northwich have a chance to win the ball back. And McLean over on the left-hand side will launch this one forward.
I think one thing Sholing are going to be careful of is just not burning energy too quickly in this second half. I mean, I noticed there that that Jake Hall was a little bit slow coming back. He obviously doesn't want to burn himself out too quickly, because this is going to be a very, very tiresome half for Sholing. Ball's just gone into the Sholing penalty area, and Ryan Gosney will pick up quite happily. Ryan Gosney will clear. Look to play the ball upfield. He's reached into the middle, but Northwich will break away here now. Switch play here by Northwich to the right-hand side. Number 10, Brown, who will try and get on the end of the ball. He does. He's under pressure, though, from McLean. He's played it back inside. Great ball there. It's landed to number 8, Cook, the captain. He's got his shot off, but it's blocked away by Myra Mason, and Alex Saw will look to break away here on the right-hand side. Cuthbertson in possession. He plays the ball up the line in towards Dan Mason, who manages to get on the end of it. Only thing is, he's on his own. Alex Sawyer's just gone behind him. Shot on target there for Alex Sawyer. He did ever so well to get in, go and help Mason there, and you just thought for a moment there is where Lee Walk would have been needed. But Northwich Victoria in possession again on the right-hand side, and Dan Miller will look to recover.
Well, just when you thought Dan Mason had no support, Sawyer was behind him. Managed to get the shot away. Save, comfortable save for Tabernet. But as it stands, it's still 1-1. And Sholing, they've done well defensively. Of course, closing at the end of the first half. Unfortunate to concede the goal that they did. It was a great header, though, from Bradley Cook. A great crossing as well to him. Found him in loads of space. I don't think Ryan Gosney would have had a better opportunity to save it, even if he had arms as long as the posts. McLean will lock that one forward. Hall couldn't get onto the end of it, and now Northwich can play out from the back again. Here's Kawazi trying to play it down the right-hand side, and that will be hoofed out of play. And that's ball number 3 gone. Of course, for those of you that have just tuned in for the second half, myself and Matt have a bit of a tally every game that we come to. Byron Mason just missing a sliding challenge there. We have a count at every game we come to see how many balls disappear outside the ground. And Sholing have won themselves a throw over on the far side. Sholing fans directly above me, not in as full voice as they were when it was 1-0. The noise you can probably hear is to the right of me, which is the Northwich Victoria fans. I think there's someone in a high vis as well getting involved. Is that one of the stewards?
No, of course not, Matt Ponter. They would not be biased in that way. They're here completely impartial stewards, here for the safety of the crowd and nothing else. But Northwich are in possession again. I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you. Kawazi playing the ball back into the centre of the park. I'm pretty sure that's a steward there. You can see her, look, in that bright orange, unless that's the colour of her jacket that she's wearing, in which case fair enough. She looks like a steward today. As Northwich try and play the ball forward. Lovely turn there from Doran. Hall is going to have to try and clear this one away in towards the middle of the park. Here's Sawyer. Not got much support, and Dan Mason now is going to have to hold up the ball. Sholing happy to keep this on the halfway line as it crosses over into the attacking half. For Sholing, back again. And now they launch the ball forward, and there'll be a short run here from Sawyer. Sawyer managed to get the ball around the goalkeeper. Hall! And there's a defender in the way. That's a fantastic chance for Sholing down the right-hand side. The pressure was put on by Alex Sawyer. The referee now deciding that there has been a foul against the Northwich Victoria player. There's another opportunity. That's where Sholing are dangerous.
Well, complete lack of communication there from Northwich Victoria. The defenders didn't quite know what to do, whether the ball was going back to the keeper, whether they're going to clear it themselves. Keeper didn't know either. But Alex Sawyer continued to chase it. Managed to get a foot in. Comes deflecting off the keeper, edge of the area, and is shot again. But it's a trickling effort, which is cleared off the goal line. But very unlucky there for Sholing. They would have hoped to have got their second goal there, really.
All the players coming back over towards this touchline. Dave Diper telling his players to... Well, I can't really lip read, so I'm not really sure what he's saying. But they're all huddled. A drop of water again while the Northwich Victoria player over to our left is still down. Greg, do you think Sholing have done well with the loss of the player? Of course, Lee Wart getting sent off in the first half. Do you think they've coped well?
Yeah, I think so. I think the last 2 or 3 minutes, you've only got to look at the pressure Sholing are putting on Northwich now, and they had to make 2 really good defensive blocks, obviously resulting in that injury that we're currently stopped for now. But they're obviously not phased by going down to 10 men, and the boys, all the boys are really, really working hard, and which is good to see. They haven't dropped their heads or anything, so the game's still there for the taking, really.
Well, it looks as though there might be a substitution for the home side. Just trying to see who actually did go down in the lead up to that chance for Sholing. Unfortunately, they won't be able to carry on. It's gone very quiet now around the ground while we just wait for play to continue. As I say that, the home fans pick up their voice again over to our right. Chance of Green Army. Funnily enough, the stand that they're under is coloured. I'd say that's like an army green shade. And they're all jumping up and down, clapping their hands as well. There's a scarf waving, and I'm just gonna. Yeah, she's definitely a steward. She's clapping away.
She's definitely a steward, but the chants of Green Army are actually ring home personally to me, because when I was a youth player, our kit used to be green, and all the parents would chant on the touchline, Green Army, and it'd be a chap from Bolton who'd do it mainly, really. But yeah, I will concur, that is definitely a steward.
Chap from Bolton. It wasn't Peter Kay, was it? By any chance? No, definitely wasn't. Okay, so this is like home for you then, watching a team in green. Surely. Yeah, gives me a nod. He doesn't want to say anymore. He's just giving me a nod as he watches play go on as Dan Mason clears that ball back to Taberner, and the play will finally continue. It's as though Lee Wart is going to make the walk round to the visiting fans and go and join in with them. There's a few fans behind the goal to our left now from Sholing that have made their way. Let's read that message. Greg's got his phone in front of my face while nothing's happening in the field of play. I'll try and read it. What does that say from Carly? Come on, I want to shout out. Stop getting involved with Stopping getting involved with the hen party to listen. Want to enjoy rewarded with a goal. Well, hopefully Sholing can bring you a goal, Carly. And there is your shout out. I've read out the whole message. I do apologise if you didn't want me to do that, but Greg's laughing to my left, so we will wait for a reply now. And we'll see what happens.
Excellent. I'll take that.
719. Sorry about the pause in commentary there. We were just waiting to see what the attendance was. 719. That's brilliant. So apparently over 100 travelling fans coming. We're just having a look around the Premier League. As Sholing, in fact, we'll wait because Sholing have a corner. Big goal. Yay. We'll wait to announce that one. Hopefully it will stand this time. There's been plenty of time where the goal's gone in and it won't count. So the ball in towards the box and it's still not loose. Sholing through and through. Got to get behind my boys. Well, they've got a corner right now, Carly. As the ball's in towards the box. Do you know what? Here's Alex Sawyer on the edge of the area. In towards the box again. It'll drop here for Roundel. Mason couldn't quite find the edge of that. Sure, it reminds me of being Chris Kamara. It's still 1-1 Carly. Jeff, Carly.
Sorry, do you know what's going on, Jeff? Do you know what's going on? But, well, persistent attacking there from Sholing. Started off with a corner, went back in and out 2 or 3 times, and fell to Dan Mason eventually, who then skied it over the goal. Does look like Northwich player is down at the moment in some sort of distress. Whilst the referee sees him, we'll just quickly run you through the Premier League scores this afternoon. Obviously, Tottenham had their loss to Burnley earlier in the early kick-off, 12:30 today against Burnley, with Harry Kane scoring on his comeback. Bournemouth are currently 1-0 up at home to Wolves. And Newcastle lead 2-0 to Huddersfield with goals from Salomon Rondon and Perez. That player has now just been subbed off, so that's number 5 coming off, and number 15, Lewis Brownhill, coming on.
There we go. We were shouting about a goal, and those of you that know me, it's come from the Championship. Aston Villa have equalised, and it's Albert Adoma that scored, but here come Northwich on the attack. What's the referee giving a handball? He's actually seen a handball, the referee. Aston Villa have equalised against Stoke. That's 1-1. Going through the rest of the scores in the Championship. Birmingham 1, Blackburn 1, Brentford 4, Hull 1. Leeds have just taken a 2-1 lead at home to Bolton. Middlesbrough 2-0 up against QPR. Preston 3-1 against Millwall. Norwich are 3-2 up now against Bristol. Reading 1-0 up against Rotherham. Sheffield Wednesday 3-1 up against Swansea. Stoke and Villa drawing 1-1. And Ipswich, 10-man Ipswich, are still 1-0 up away to Wigan. The ball in towards Hall, flicks in across the box. A great chance for Sholing. Down the left-hand side, it was played in by Jake Hall. What a chance for Sawyer to put that one into the back of the net, but that's the pressure Sholing need to put on.
Fantastic chance there for Sholing, really intricate play actually. Dan Mason obviously running on the left-hand side, little back heel to Jake Hall, but it's a low-driven cross in, and it goes wide of the left post from Alex Sawyer. Really good chance there for Sholing, but it's still 1-1 here at the Whitton Albion Football Club Stadium, and Northwich in possession on the right-hand side here. Play it up the line. Dan Miller wins the ball back. He's fallen though to Daryl Mason on the right-hand side, looking to get the ball in here. He's one-on-one, driving at goal. And is comfortably in the hands of Ryan Gosney again, who has been, I must say, superb all afternoon so far, Matt.
Daryl Mason, though, proving, I have to agree with you, by the way, about Ryan Gosney. Of course, he's superb. Wearing the pink shirt that he's had to borrow from Northwich themselves, and that one's nodded on towards Hull. If we can get onto it, he won't, and Northwich will clear that one away, but it's definitely Daryl Mason for Northwich. He attacks forward with a lot of pace. And again, here they go. Alex Sawyer picking up the ball again. Hall been surrounded quickly by a couple of players. And Sholing just happy. Castle towards Hall, headed out by Kamosi. A shout from Kamosi there. Sholing have near side, still 1-1. We played just over 70 minutes. Of course, we had a couple of stoppages within there. That one's given away straight to the substitute, Lewis Brownhill, but here comes Hall. Dan Mason. Sholing just trying to make the most of these opportunities. They're going to have to. And that one's almost played back into the possession. It has to Alex Sawyer. Cuthbertson. Byron Mason in towards the box. Towards Dan Mason, couldn't get the head onto it. Northwich still looking loose at the back. McLean down to Hall. Hall being closed in again. And now they'll go out for a throw to Sholing on this near side. Really putting on the pressure when they do move forward, Sholing. But the more men they commit forward, the more chance there is of a counter-attack for the home side as McLean walks over to pick up the ball. He will... I don't know where he's going to throw this one. Jake Hall is there. Byron Mason's made his way towards the 6-yard area, right on the edge of the 6-yard area as well. So McLean going to try and launch this one in towards the box. Hall's going to run short for it if he can. He's still running rings. Now Hall picks it up, and that one will go out for a throw again to Sholing. Not many options really for McLean to choose from. It literally was just Jake Hall there. But again, he goes short. This time manages to get to 1-2 back. McLean getting the ball off the head of Captain Bradley Cook, out for a corner to Sholing, and now the men switch around. It's interesting to see that 2 men for Northwich are staying on the halfway line.
Really persistent period of attack there from Sholing. Quite impressive. You'd have liked to think they should have got a goal on a couple of these chances, but they're definitely not looking like a side who are 1 man down here. But there'll be a corner taken here by Alex Sawyer. Good ball in, but it's comfortably caught though by Daniel Taberner, who breaks the ball out early for Northwich on the left-hand side for Joel Brownhill, who clips the ball across field. Headed away by Pete Castle. It's in possession again. He played it out wide for Northwich to Joe Camozzi. Driving at the Sholing defence here. And it's now played down the line again to Darryl Mason, who's in possession in the bottom right-hand corner, right by the corner flag with his back to goal. He turns though, and he finds Bradley Cook. Oh! He finds Bradley Cook. He squares it to Harvey White. He plays a first-time shot towards the top left-hand corner, but Ryan Gosney again catches and keeps the score level 1-1.
Tensions rising for Sholing. Ryan Gosney. I almost thought the ball was going to hit us then. Almost thought. Almost. It's close. Ryan Gosney making a good save there. He was in the right position at the right time as well. I think that helped as well. But the shot with a lot of power. He got his hands safely behind that one. As Northwich can start again from the back on the halfway line now. Bringing the ball forward is Winder over towards the left-hand side towards Camozzi. And that will go out for a throw to Sholing. It's those counter-attacks that Sholing really do have to watch.
Well, they're capitalising Northwich here because Sholing are committing a lot of men forward when they do attack because they have to. If they don't, then they will get nowhere. But obviously what happens is it leaves them slightly short at the back, and Northwich are doing their best to get the ball forward as quickly as possible to try and catch the Sholing back 4 out. But Jake Hall in possession here. He's just headed the ball forward, but it's cleared away by Northwich's substitute. Lewis Brownhill, but it's gone forward, and Ryan Gosney's in possession again, who looked to distribute early. No, he's just said no. He's going to look to wait and kick out himself. Upfield, and he's going straight to Byron Mason. Upfield towards Dan Mason. Doesn't quite find him, but it is a Sholing throw in here on the near side. But there's no one there looking for him. It'll come to number 3, Marvin McLean. Jake Hall showing for it. He's gone long towards Byron Mason. Oh, he's shoved in the back there. Referee gives nothing, and he goes out for a corner.
I think the referee's awarded a throw. It was very close to the corner. It was very close to the corner flag, I can tell you that now. McLean launches this one into Hall straight away towards the touchline, drilled low. I think he was trying to win a corner. That one will be cleared away again towards Doran. Well, Here comes Sawyer again, down towards the right, in towards the box. Blocked away by Fleming for a corner to Sholing. That's what they need to do. They're winning the corners. They've just got to convert one of these chances. They've got time. Just about. 15 minutes or so left to go. Northwich Victoria 1, Sholing 1. Sholing down to 10 men. Lee Walker getting sent off just before half time. It looks as though there might be a substitution to be made very shortly. Corner whipped in towards the box. The keeper spilt it. Still on the floor, the keeper. Mason couldn't get onto the end of it. It's always interesting when the goalkeeper can't hold on to the ball. We will have a substitution. Well, Brian Matthews is preparing himself on the touchline. Who's he coming on for? It is Rob Doran. So, wait to hear what minute. Well, there is the substitution that has been made. Brian Matthews making his way onto the field of play for the home side, getting himself involved straight away. Daryl Mason just chasing the ball, and here comes Sholing down the right-hand side. Ping goes Matt's phone. Must be a goal somewhere. It's in the Spanish leagues, and Dan Mason almost down. Hall, that one, still scrappy. Castle launches it forward up towards Hall if he can get onto the end of it. It's headed away by Kamosi down the right-hand side. There you go, Northwich Victoria again. Almost losing the ball. McLean diving in there. He's going to have to get back up. Shouts for the ball going out of play. Roundell keeps the ball in possession for Sholing. Back up again by Castle. Hands over Dan Mason there. Nothing given. Cleared up field again. Sholing just about managing to keep the ball. Cuthbertson over towards the right-hand side in his own half. Trying to ping this one over the halfway line, and he has done up towards Dan Mason. Couldn't flick it on towards Jake Hall. That will drop out for a throw to the visitors here. The noise coming from directly ahead of us now. In fact, the home fans have calmed down just a little bit. I think they've realised that this isn't as easy as they thought it might have been, Matt.
Yeah, Sholing now full voice again. They can see their team are pressing, giving everything they've got. Jake Hall's on the edge of the area. He's intricately drilled his way through. Shot off, just wide of the right post. Jake Hall did ever so well there to get through the Northwich back four, and the shot was just not quite on target. But yes, you're right, Matt. It's Sholing have got to really keep their voices heard just to keep their team spurred on in these the last quarter of an hour here.
Eastleigh 2-0 up away at Salford is the latest score. Wolves have equalised against Bournemouth. That's 1-1. Jimenez with a penalty. Sholing making their way forward again. Here's Hall. Almost falls for Sawyer. Miller gets the header away. Northwich back again in possession over on the left-hand side now. How far can they move forward with this one? Look at the legs of Daryl Mason over on the left-hand side. Did you see that, Matt?
I did see that, Mr. Ponter. Very quick player, that Daryl Mason. When he gets going, he is very hard to catch. Definitely rivaling the pace of Sholing's own Lee Wart. Obviously, he got sent off in the first half for a brash challenge. Studs up, and the referee instantly sent him off. But it's a goal kick here for Sholing, and Ryan Gosney in his what's going to become a very famous pink jersey. And the fusion colour, I believe, is what Greg described it as. But it's Sholing goal kick here. Floodlights coming on now in the far corner. Lights starting to fade. But the hopes of Sholing are definitely not fading.
Not at the moment. In fact, as far as I can see, I'm not sure what the floodlights are doing to our left and right because we can't see them, but the one in the far left Well, the one in the far left doesn't seem to be coming on at the moment, so we might be playing in the dark in the corner over there. Which, it could be. One of the floodlights is definitely on to our right, and I've just looked at it, and that means got flashing lights in front of my eyes. Ball's flicked over towards this right-hand side now. It will be chased by Northwich. Out for a throw to Sholing. McLean will pick up the ball. Chance coming from the away fans again. Dan Mason, Byron Mason. It's the Yaya Colo Torre chant. It's brilliant. And it stopped. And the drum, of course. The home fans, they've quietened down quite a lot as well. Has to be said. Challenge going in there from Hall. And Northwich player's gone down. He's holding his face. He's holding his leg. Hold on a minute. What's wrong with him? No. Is it his face? No. It's Professor Plum with the lead piping in the kitchen. No, that's the wrong thing completely. No. He's gone down. He's holding his leg. He's holding his face. He is in a lot of pain. Or is he? Or is he just putting it on? Wait to be seen. But there's water being squirted on his left leg. It's the old magic sponge technique, I think, always been called. It's non-league level. A little bit of water been put on him. I think he'll be okay. Just a reminder, if it does stay 1-1, we do go to extra time this evening. There will be no penalties after extra time if no outright score is decided. It goes to a replay. Don't know what to make of that, Matt.
I feel like if it did go to replay, it's absolutely fine. I feel like Sholing on their own turf would beat Northwich by a couple of goals. But just on regards to this Northwich player, I believe it is number 2, Joe Kamazi. He did go down in a little bundle, and he is actually, despite our Mickey taking, he's actually in a lot of pain. I think, yeah, Greg said he hurt himself more when he went down, but he's holding his leg. He received the magic sponge treatment. He's on his feet. He looks like he's going to come back on, but he was punching the floor almost Neymar-esque.
We'll just keep an eye on him when he does come back on, because obviously he's going to try and put something on for a little bit if he is not injured. He is running now, Joe Kamazi. Just keep an eye on him for a little bit. Let's see what he's like. In the meantime, the ball's over on the far side. Sholing have got possession. Just waiting for the ball to be picked up by Ryan Gosney. They actually managed to land on the stone. Bit of a clap there from Dave Diper on the touchline, on the edge of his technical area. Don't really think he's sat down too much this second half. He's been very active. Of course, Bournemouth 1, Wolves 1, the latest score in the Premier League. Jimenez with that penalty. Hall knocks this one forward towards Dan Mason over on the right-hand side now, in towards Hall, and Sawyer's in the middle of the box, waiting to pick it up. Can he turn onto his right? He's going to try to. Mason couldn't get there, and it's been given away. It was a great opportunity for Sawyer to turn onto his right, take the shot. He was in the middle of the box. Great clearance there from Byron Mason out to the right-hand side. Matt, you'd have thought Alex Sawyer would have taken the shot there.
I mean, Alex Sawyer, all he has to do is sort of just turn his body out, face the goal, and he could have had a shot, but he decided to go back the way he was facing, away from the goal almost, and it didn't work out and fell to Northwich possession. But the real opportunity there, if Alex Sawyer just got his head up, he could have really got a shot off there in a really dangerous position. Joey Kamosi here, talking of the injured player, it looks to be absolutely fit as a fiddle now, and he just pinged the ball down the line, and it's cleared away by Sholing, and it'll be a Northwich throw-in by Joe Kamazi. Let's see if his hands aren't injured, and it's a perfect throw-in.
Yeah, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with him at all, by the sounds of it. So, there we go. What is it? Handbags, they say.
Handbag at dawn.
Yeah, definitely. Handbags at dawn. Or at dusk, considering. Yeah. So, yeah. Getting the old references in there, of course we are.
Ball played in there by Northwich. It's on the edge of the area. It's fallen to number 10. And it's just on the edge of the area. Oh, 2 players gone down there, and it's a Sholing free kick given. Right decision there, given by the referee. I didn't mean to nab the mic off you there, Matt, but I was just going to say that we've had a lack of puns from your behalf this afternoon.
I mean, I've tried to calm down because you told me off in the first half, so I wasn't going to carry on. Greg, let's get you back involved in this. It's been a great half from Sholing to go down to 10 men, but can you see, especially if this game is going to extra time at the end of if it is a draw, can you see Sholing continuing in extra time and maybe even nabbing a winner?
Yeah, I think if the boys out there can stay as they are, obviously we've got a current injury to one of the Sholing players at the moment, but if we can keep the same 10 players on the pitch, well, actually it looks like Brad Targett's just about to come on now, so that will give us a little bit more energy up front. Maybe Dave's looking to get a winner out of the game. We've still got like 5 minutes left, so it'd be interesting to see what Dave's now philosophy is whether try and win it in the next 5 minutes, or do we try and win it in extra time? So
interesting to see what he does go for. Of course, Sholing, Matt, we've seen that Sholing have had their chances. Maybe getting caught on the counter. Where can you see this game going in the final 5 minutes? And if it does go to extra time, where do you see it?
I think Sholing would much rather get themselves a win in the next 5 minutes, because the longer this goes on, that one-man deficit will take its toll as we go into extra time, and another half an hour on those legs, a man down will take its toll. Yes, bringing on the likes of Brad Targett to bring a bit of energy up front will benefit them, and will put the Northwich defence under a bit of pressure. But Sholing all the capabilities to maintain this and hold out for a replay.
Yep, 5 minutes added on at the end of this second half. 5 massive minutes. Oh, just got a flick on from Hall. Big minute. But pass on Ryan Winder to win the ball back. Where's he going to go now? He's going to go over towards the right-hand side. That'll be flicked in towards Hall. Couldn't get onto the end of it. Fantastic touch from, I do believe that is Bradley Cook. Here he goes, Daryl Mason down the left-hand side in the meantime. Just get the feeling every time he gets the ball, he's going to do something in towards the box. Great block. It's still loose in the edge of the area. It's a substitute, Brian Matthews. Cleared out for a throw.
Edge of your seat stuff there, Mr. Ponter. Daryl Mason using his pace again at left-hand side. Cuts in. Driving at the goal, looking like he's going to get a shot off. He does get a shot off, but it is blocked away, and it's a bit of last-ditch defending as it's cleared. But they are still in possession here. Joe Kamazi on the right-hand side. Played back there to Bradley Cook, the captain. To a Sholing Victoria, who's now flying on the right-hand side. He flies placing. Can he get on the end of it? It's cleared away by the Northwich defender, and he goes out for a... Referee has given a corner. Sholing bench really trying to get the players going here. How fantastic would it be if Sholing can get themselves a win in the next few minutes? This bench certainly feels like they can. The crowd on the other side certainly feel like they can. Alex Sawyer getting ready to take the corner. Just 2 men left at the back in Cuthbertson and McLean. Northwich now only leaving 1 man forward. Ball played in straight into the hands of Daniel Taberner. He looks to get the ball early, but it's played too early and there's no one there to receive it. The ball goes all the way back to Ryan Gosney, who's able to pick up the ball. He'll take his time, wait for Sholing to reorganise themselves in the middle of the park. It's played forward, straight towards a Northwich defender. Out for a throw-in on the far side, just on the halfway line. Here we are with Cuthbertson in possession. They're not in a hurry here, Sholing. They look like they're happy to go for the extra time. They look like they're happy to go to a replay, but he's played down the line. He's gone and fallen in possession of Daryl Mason. He's switched play. And he switched play again on the right-hand side, and that's number 7, Harvey White. Cleared away by Dan Miller. who we've not mentioned a lot this half, but he's still been very productive and kept Sholing out of trouble. Ball played early there by Northwich, played inside to Bradley Cook, the captain. He clips the ball towards the edge of the box. It falls onto a Northwich head, but it just goes behind for a goal kick. Tense stuff here, Mr. Ponter, in the dying moments.
It is. We're just making sure that people can still hear us, because apparently my phone is showing a reconnecting sign, so I'm not sure what's going on. Just trying to make sure that people can still listen. Someone put something on the live chat if you can. It'd be great, so you know we're still going live. As Gosney puts the ball down. Now the floodlight on the left is on, Greg's just pointed out, thank you. So, let's stream up. Sholing have won the throw on the far side. So, and that one, I'm not quite sure what's happened there. The ball has been launched out of the ground, by the sound of it. So can we put that one? We can put. Oh, the referee has blown for full time though. We'll put that on the ball count. But there we go, full time here at Winsham Park. It's finished Northwich Victoria 1, Sholing 1 in the quarter-final of the FA Vase. There we go, 2 15-minute halves to follow of extra time. Wow, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with you very, very shortly. 1-1, it's finished at full time. Goals from Lee Wart and Bradley Cook, both in the first half. Sholing down to 10 men at the end of the first half. Lee Wart getting sent off with a straight red. But we will be back for the first period of extra time. Well, we're ready for the first period of extra time. Of course, this fixture going to extra time. If nothing's decided at the end of this, 2 periods of 15 minutes. And it goes to a replay. I'm not quite sure whether to agree or not with that. They're going to try and settle it on the day, take it straight to penalties, as Matt Ogley's rightly said next to me. Well, Greg has been to the actually one of the yeah, it seems as if he's been to the bakery. He's brought back biscuits, cake. It's a feast here at the press desk. He's been inside. Good. Well, I'm glad we are connected because my screen says reconnecting. So just wanted to make sure that everyone can still listen as the first period of extra time gets underway. Sholing now shooting left to right, still with their 10 men. Northwich right to left. The only substitutes have been made. Brian Matthews and Lewis Brownhill coming on for the home side in replacement of Doran and Kieran Kenny. Sholing. Cleared over on the halfway line again, and now here come Northwich through the middle. They've got a chance now. They've probably had a good talking to. Dan Miller straight over though to clear that one away.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Northwich come out a lot stronger than they did in the second half, because overall they were quite poor actually across that entire period of the second part of the game. But they're in the attack here. On the far side, Joe Kamazi's got a throw-in. Only one player left up for Sholing now, and Dan Mason on his own, isolated. So if anyone's quickly, but Kamazi plays the ball down the line, gets it back to himself, plays it back to number 10, Joel Brownhill. It falls to Sholing. Jake Hall plays the ball forward. Dan Mason now in pursuit on the right-hand side. Joel Brownhill has got there first. Lewis Brownhill, sorry, has got there first. Oh! And Brownhill's kicked out slightly there at Mason. Mason hasn't reacted. Plenty of cheer there from the crowd.
While that's been happening, I can say the cake is great. Well, have some cake, have some cake. You lean over me, you grab some cake, have a slice. It's very nice. It's very sweet. All in one. Well done. That's how we do it. Free kick for Northwich from right to left, of course, in the first period of extra time. And they come forward again. Dan Miller with the clearance away. You can see the massive green launching their way forward. The only man in red and white upfield is Dan Mason. Everyone else is back for Sholing. Mason now trying to cover Brian Matthews over on the right-hand side. And again, Northwich trying to find their way into the final third. There is Kamosi back again to Winder in towards the middle. That'll be cleared away by Castle off his knee. Very good knee all the way over to the half penalty area. I think he's been practicing those on the training ground. Northwich back in possession across the back with Fitzgerald. Haven't really heard much of him in the half. It looks as if Brad Targett is making... It looks as if he's getting ready to come on. TJ Cuthbertson lets that one roll out for a goal kick. There are a few fans behind the goal to the left there that were really upset with that.
Very upset there, but I feel like Northwich have now strategically placed themselves evenly behind both ends of the goal, because obviously after just 15 minutes they will switch around again. So they've managed to they've got enough fans behind both goals to make sure that if they do score, they will get the cheer they need. But it's a goal kick here for Sholing. Still 1-1 in the first period of extra time. Ryan Gosney with the ball. Sholing obviously still down to just 10 men after Lee Ward was sent off in midway through the first half for a brash challenge. The goal kick is taken. Ward is played in. Oh, it's a great shot there from Dan Mason, just on the edge of the area. It's fallen to him from Brad Targett. Hits it first time and is straight at Daniel Taberner, who blocks it away for a Sholing corner. Great effort there for Sholing. But it'll be a corner. It looks like Cuthbertson will be the man to take the kick here on the right-hand side now. Sholing taking some risks and just leaving Marvin McLean on his own at the back there. With Jake Hall on the right side marking Ryan Winder. But Cuthbertson will now come up to take the corner. And he plays the ball in. Rising for Dan Miller. Oof. Dan Miller rises to the ball, but it's cleared away by Taberner, and then cleared away by Northwich defender, and he goes out for another.
Northwich playing dangerously at the back now, very dangerously. It's as though that ball could have bounced anywhere. It's bounced out for another corner. Cuthbertson going over towards that far side. The only substitute for Sholing then. Target has come on for Alex Sawyer. I'm not going to make a pun. Don't worry, Matt. Not going to make any jokes about the player that's come on. So, as Cuthbertson whips the ball in towards the box. He hasn't found the target. Brad Target.
I'll give you that one, Mr. Ponter. You can have that one. Hasn't found the target. Bradley Target. Yeah, very funny, very good. But the poor corner there actually from Cuthbertson. Doesn't find anyone. Goes right over the side of the pitch and out for a goal kick for Daniel Taberner.
He's taking his time as well. Just having a little bit of a hop and a skip as well. Northwich Victoria fans to the left and to the right now. Some have stayed, some have moved. So obviously there's too much walking involved to walk from one end of the pitch to the other. Very much easier. I've noticed as well, they all seem to be travelling in one direction in front of us. No one's going past the Sholing fans. Maybe they've been sectioned off. I don't think they have been. Northwich making their way down the right-hand side now in towards the middle. Here's White. Couldn't pick up the ball where he wanted to, and this one will drop across the back. Brad Target's going to have to cover here because Fleming was making the run over on this left-hand side. Here is Jack Fleming now trying to play the ball down the left up towards Joel Brownhill. That's cleared away by Pete Castle, and we can add that as number 5. Number 5. Throw is taken quickly. Whipped in towards the box by captain Bradley Cook. Out for a goal kick. There'll be no rush for Sholing to take this one. In fact, none of the fans actually bothered to pick up the ball for him. In fact, I'm going to point him out. There's a guy over to the left who's wearing a blue jumper. He said something towards Ryan Gosney. I'm not sure what it was, but there's definitely a gesture as well. Very nice fans.
Yeah, they're being slightly hostile now, this Northwich fan base, which is obviously just a sign of the fact that they're getting frustrated that the team have not taken advantage of the one-man advantage, but not Sholing are in attack here. Bradley Target in possession. Takes a shot on into the area, but goes straight into the hands of Taberner. Not testing the keeper in any way, but it's still positive for Sholing.
Yeah, Cuthbertson making the run over on the right-hand side as well. Could have just played it down there, fizzed across the box, who knows. But great play again, Brad Target getting the shot, more so than Northwich Victoria did at the start of the second half. So, who knows where this game is going to take us. Are we going to see a winner, or are we going to see a replay? It remains to be seen. My phone now tells me we've got 20% of battery left, and here comes Sholing again. Hall, Mason, deflected shot. Got a lot of power behind it as well. Picked up by Taberner. Should have enough battery to keep going. I charged my phone on the way home. Clearly, the things technology can do these days. It's fantastic. And you're listening to Northwich Victoria against Sholing. It's 1-1. And we're into extra time. The ball played through there towards Brian Matthews. Great hold-up play from Dan Miller to keep that one at bay. I sound like an old man. I'm just summarising what the millennial world is about. I agree with you. I did sound like an old man then. But, you know, just trying to explain that technology is fantastic and we should embrace it. In the meantime, it looks as though Jordan Dart is going to be making his way onto the field. The final substitution for Northwich. On the bench still for Sholing, Owen Royal, Jack Smith, Bradley Norton. So there are options. Might see a straight swap soon. Owen Roundell and Owen Royal doing the old switch from the bench. There's Northwich Victoria again down the right-hand side this time, keeping the ball across the back, not doing anything stupid at the moment. Launch forward there from Winder over towards this left-hand side, and I don't think that's going to be reached. And Sholing will have the throw. And here is the substitution that's going to be made. Well, it remains to be seen who's going off, as we'll find out very shortly. It is number 10. It is Joel Brownhill. First minute left to go. Bit of cramp there. Byron Mason feeling for it as well. That's what's going to be difficult, isn't it, Matt, for the rest of this half and the extra half as well.
Extra time. I think that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, I know. Free kick there for Sholing. Foul there on what it looks like to be Alex Sawyer. Yes, Byron Mason struggling there in the middle, just stretching off. Quite testing for someone who's made, well, is it 550 appearances? Did we say it all? Yeah. Well, after 550 appearances, I'm sure you get a bit of cramp here and there, but it is a Sholing free kick on the halfway line, taken by Cuthbertson. Plenty of men piled forward. Bradley Target isolated on the right hand side on his own. Ball played in by Cuthbertson. It's a great ping, but keeper manages to take it into his own. Disperses the ball quickly up the pitch. Still in possession here with Dar, who's showing his energy early on as he's just come on the pitch, but he's dribbled out of play for a throw-in to Sholing.
Definitely showing a quick burst of energy there. And just calms down once again. Sholing fans still keeping the voice alive. Travelling up from the south, about 4.5 hours away. It's been worth every mile of that trip so far. Regardless of the score, I think it has to be said that the fans have enjoyed it. The players will have enjoyed the experience here today, but there's still another half of football. Another half of extra time to go after this. So who knows? Northwich Victoria making their way forward again. Here is Bradley Cook in towards the middle. Mason over now towards Cuthbertson. Sholing have made this very difficult. And you wouldn't know they're playing with 10 men either. Hall takes the strike. Fantastic diving save from Taberner. He saw that one late. It's a fantastic save. Jake Hall with the strike from over on the left-hand side. Left-footed strike. Almost caught out Taberner. Sholing with the throw on this near side. Cuthbertson in towards the box. Hall gets the flick on up towards Dan Mason. And another save. It's still spilt loose. Owen Roundell go to chase it. Here's target. No one's on to the end of that one. I'll go over to Kamosi. What a strike from Hall. Almost.
One of these has got to go in. Two cracking chances. First one from Jake Hall. Second one taken as well. Keeper does ever so well to save both, but if those aren't going to go in, then what are it, Matt?
Well, it remains to be seen, but here goes substitute Brian Matthews. First time shot on his left foot. Good defending from Sholing. That one's launched forward towards Dan Mason. Where's that going to go? No, Northwich do not look comfortable at all, Matt. Believe it or not, somehow we've been going for over 2 hours on this live stream, which is fantastic. Surprised our voices haven't gone yet. It's launched forward again. Northwich in towards Daryl Mason. Falls over. And the referee, instead of blowing for a free kick, which the fans initially thought, that's a good way of teasing them, he's blown for half-time at extra time. It remains 1, Sholing 1. There'll be a couple of minutes break. They have gone both ways. It's like the parting of the seas in the stand. It is. Where is that woman? She's over there. I think she put a coat on. Yes, quarter-final of the FA Vase. It's still 1-1. We'll be back in just a few moments for the second half of extra time. Will we find a winner? It remains to be seen.
Cracking.
Set up for a replay now, wouldn't you?
I think Dave was still trying to stay positive. To be fair, I think
Try and nick it.
I think you as I say, it's a match just now. When you looked at the Northwich manager, he wanted more energy from the players. Dave was just like wandering around having a drink, you know. And that's the difference between the two managers at the moment.
That's more than we get on Sunday.
So are you off air now or not?
It's still on. I've just turned the microphone off.
Oh, right. Okay.
So technically we're on air, but we're off air.
Yeah.
There's no audio coming out.
I've had about 11 people ask to join the Sholing Boatman group this afternoon, and just had somebody else now. We'll see you there. All right. Yeah. I always check to see who they are.
I think we should just do this.
Have a lot of people been following the game.
Yeah, well, Matt said he's had quite a few followers on there.
Actually,
We'll just
make your Radio Sonar YouTube channel.
I'm doing it off my production one at the moment, but yeah, we'll do a sports.
Do a sport on Sonar.
Lunch and just do a Saturday sports one. And the microphone is on.
Yeah.
It isn't.
I normally take Aaron to games with him. He couldn't make it. He's had to go to a wedding, so he's another one listening at a wedding.
Brilliant. Wedding as well.
It's Aaron Nilsson. You can give him a shout out. Oh, sorry.
Well, we're back for the start of the second half of extra time. It's getting a bit colder as the sun's dipped over the stands behind. Floodlights are on. Sholing have got a lot of defending to do early on as well. Cuthbertson. Fans are still making their way round to the other half of the goal. Plenty of you listening back down south, and it's fantastic to have you listening as well. We're trying to bring the best coverage while we're up here in Cheshire. At the moment, Northwich Victoria 1, Sholing 1. We're in the second half of extra time. Both goals of the game coming in the first half of normal time. Lee Wart scoring on 25 minutes. A ball played through from Gosney straight to him. And manages to slot it past Tabernet. He then got sent off. Lee Wart took a large touch, tried to win the ball back, studs up, and the referee deemed that as a straight red. And then, just on the stroke of half-time, Bradley Cook, the captain for Northwich, headed the ball into the back of the net to make it 1-1. Apart from that, not really much else has happened, as you heard in the first half of extra time. A few shots came in. Jake Hall was the best one, very, very close. In the meantime, here come Northwich straight away, down to our right-hand side. It's Brian Matthews back in towards the substitute Jordan Dar as well, clearing that one away.
Down, well played.
That one's loose. So many players out there just running out of energy. Just needs one goal. Here come Sholing down the left-hand side. Dan Mason will keep this one. He can't control it. And he's stopped running as well. Jordan Dart tried to switch it onto his left, back onto his right again. Sholing get the ball away. Byron Mason down towards Jake Hall, couldn't get the touch onto it. And that will be kept in as well. Here is Jordan Dart. McLean trying to get the challenge in, stop the cross from going in. Dart trying to turn his man, couldn't. Marv McLean knocked that one out for a throw. And Sholing straight away at the start of this second half of extra time. They're showing that they're struggling now.
Yeah, they're really struggling now. Those legs are tiring. That one-man deficit's starting to take its toll on the game. And Northwich in possession, throw in on the right-hand side. You can see Dan Mason starting to flag, Jake Hall starting to flag. They're not moving that ball forward as quickly as they were, even in the first part of the extra time. Northwich still in possession. Kamazi here on the right-hand side. He plays it back to Lewis Brownhill, who pings the ball into the box. Comfortably taken again by Ryan Gosney. How many times have we said that this afternoon, Matt?
Too many times. I think that just shows that Northwich have not really managed to test him that much this afternoon. The only chance was the goal that they had, and that was nothing to do with Gosney. He couldn't really reach it. But yeah, here's Dan Mason now coming forward. Can't quite keep hold of the ball as Fitzgerald wins this one back. Here's Kamosi down the right-hand side. And Dan Miller clears that one away into the crowd and caught. The referee.
Saints, yeah, they're at home on Fulham Wednesday night.
Fulham Wednesday.
Of course, we've got the fourth substitution rule for extra time. So off comes Harvey White, Dominic Craig coming on. Here they go again, Northwich. They've made all 4 substitutions they can possibly make. Sholing have only made 1. Now, do you think that is going to affect them at all?
I don't think it will. I think they've come. I think the reason Dave might not have done that is to keep this team mentally strong together. To know that every single one of them has played this entire period, one man down. They're all playing for each other, and it's the same set of legs, and they can't rely on the fresh legs. They've all got to put everything they've got left into this game, and looking to attack here at the moment. They're in possession, throw in on the far side, right in front of the Sholing fans who have been fantastic all afternoon. Made their voices heard above the vastly outnumbered Northwich fans who are now all travelled back behind the Sholing goal in full numbers, full capacity. But the Sholing getting the ball away back to Northwich, who cleared the ball forward. Cleared by McLean. Only 10 yards. But it's a throw in again for Northwich with Darryl Mason in possession. Long ball forward. Dominic Craig makes a shot, and Ryan Gosney makes another save to hold the ball again.
Wow, it's getting really tense now. I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel the tension in the ground. Not just from the 3 of us sitting here, but just the whole atmosphere seems to have dropped since we first started. The lights drop, the floodlights are on, the pressure is on, it gets colder. Here is Cook, drops back for Kamosi. Hall went in for the challenge and now goes down trying to get back up. They're tiring out Sholing legs, but so are some of the Northwich players as well. Over goes Cook towards the middle. Winder, that'll be lost, and Target would try and chase that one. Flies over his man, and here comes Winder again. In towards the box, it's taken a deflection. It's into the back of the net. The final touch came off. Ryan Winder took the ball from the left-hand side. He played it over, and the Sholing heads go down. Ryan Gosney's on his knees. Byron Mason has just got himself back up. You could see that coming somehow. And Northwich Victoria take a 2-1 lead.
I don't think it's no real individual errors there. It's just a case of that back 4 is absolutely exhausted. They've taken as much as they can this afternoon. Sooner or later, Northwich were going to make a breakthrough, and they have. It's gone bottom right-hand corner. this Sholing team look absolutely devastated. But they've still got a few minutes. They need to keep their heads up. They need to keep going.
8 minutes. 8 minutes, that's what they've got. Sholing trailing by 2-1. And these are massive 8 minutes for both sides. Northwich will be looking to seal this one away. Dan Miller with the header. What do you do now if you're Dave Diper? 2-1 down, 10 men. Tired players, tired minds, tired legs. Very difficult situation to be in. His arms are crossed on the touchline. He's just put his hands now into his pockets. He's pulled something out. Has he got a piece of paper? He's looking at something. He must have made some notes for this. How are his team going to respond? He took a deflection on the way through as well, the shot. Took it past Ryan Gosney. Both goals he's not been able to deal with. And here they come again. It's off the post this time. And it's Daryl Mason. It's that man that we've been talking about for quite a while this game. What a strike from his right boot onto the edge of the goal. It was almost the corner of the bar and the post. Here's Kamosi in towards the box. The right-footed driven shot. Ryan Gosney clears that one away, and now Brad Targett can make a run down the right-hand side. Is being covered very quickly by Cook, the captain, of course, for Northwich. Targett's still going here. Pete Castle's made his way forward as Targett trying to win this one. It will go out for a Sholing throw. They've gone for 3 at the back, it seems. Well. This is where it all comes down to how your players can respond. It's the throw. It's going to be launched in by Cuthbertson in towards the box. On towards Dan Miller. Gets the flick on. Dan Mason couldn't quite find it. Everyone is back for Northwich. Gosney launches that one upfield. Everyone's got to make sure they're onside. Miller towards Targett. That one will drop back for Cuthbertson. Back up again. And here comes the breakaway from Northwich. Almost the breakaway. Cuthbertson, he's going to have to go back, surely. He's got to go back to his keeper, and the pressure is on now as Gosney clears. A high line from Northwich Victoria as well. That one will be flicked on. It's dropped for Targett. Takes the shot. Hits his man first time. Targett again with possession. He's trying to flick it onto his left. He can't. He's going to have to go wide onto his right. Tensions rising in towards the box. Dan Miller. And the keeper will get hold of that Taberner. You can see the high line being played by Northwich there as everyone was forward for Sholing. They're taking their time now.
This is fun. Oh, it's been really exciting stuff. It's just devastating though, Matt, to see if they don't get a goal and go out at this late stage. They've been fantastic all afternoon. The way they've fought with just 10 men for so long. They're giving everything they've got now. It's on the right-hand side with Northwich. They're in possession. They've got a throw in. Joe Kamasi will take. You can see both touch lines are giving as many orders they can possibly get. It's gone played forward again by Northwich. Daryl Mason squared across the box. And it's 3-1. And it's 3-1. Game over. 3-1 to Northwich Victoria.
Again, that goal was coming. And unfortunately for Sholing, that really has put the nail in the coffin, if you want the cliche to go with it. Squared across the box. Daryl Mason, we've been on about him all afternoon. He's got his name on the score sheet now. That really is it. I think summed up by the touchline. Dave Diper applauding his players, keeping the spirit going. It's almost safe to say that that's game, set and match. Ryan Gosney just picking himself back up again. But the reaction from the Northwich bench, everyone was on the field. The keeper ran over to the bench as well. "117 minutes. That's what 5 minutes of football can do to a team. And it happens everywhere. And a shot from Dan Mason goes wide and out for a goal kick. I think it's safe to say, almost, with 2 minutes of play left to go, it's the home side that will be going through to the semi-finals of the FA Vase. Sholing giving it everything, though. All credit to Sholing this afternoon. They've given it everything moving forward. It's just that sending off might have hindered their chances this afternoon. Came out in the second half, played for the draw it seems, got the chances away, couldn't find the back of the net. And I think it's just players getting tired that's unfortunately prevented them from winning this game.
Well, credit where credit's due. You can do nothing but give admiration to the effort, to the desire, the will, determination all these players have shown this afternoon. And it's just so disappointing. I mean, the two of us sat here, we're gutted for Sholing because they haven't deserved this result. And it hadn't gone to extra time, and if it just been a replay at the full 90, it would have been fine. But their legs are giving way, and you can see if you can see all their faces out on the pitch now. Every single one of them looks beaten. Can't be long enough now. Just a matter of minutes. The ball's played back to Ryan Gosney, who I would probably up for contention on man of the match for Sholing this afternoon, but he's played the ball up forward. Northwich on the attack again. And it's found Ryan Gosney, who claims the ball. Launches the ball forward again towards Byron Mason. Can't quite find it. It goes out for a throw in here for Joe Kamazi. He'll take his time. He's in no rush.
Chance from the home fans. Wembley. I think if the away fans are going to be chanting anything right now, let's go home. Let's go home. Calls for a foul throw though. Kamazi. Unfortunately, Sholing still have a throw over on the far side. So we're closing in on full time. Thank you for all of you that have listened today. It's been a fantastic game to watch. And Sholing, believe it or not, have been playing with 10 men since half time. The way we've been speaking about this game, you would have no idea that they were down to 10 men. It's not shown. They've given everything. Unfortunately, the result just hasn't gone their way. Northwich, I don't think they're going to be playing to rub it in anymore. Here we go again. In towards Kamazi, the man who we thought was injured. Absolutely fine. The body's behind the goal to our right, shouting Wembley, Wembley. You've still got 2 more games to go, boys. So I'd hold your horses just yet. 1 minute of added time, and then the referee can blow off his whistle, and hopefully we'll be able to get the thoughts of Dave Diper. It's still not over. Dan Mason taking a touch, gets the shot away, out for a goal kick in front of a crowd of 719 people today here at Witton Albion Football Club, where Northwich Victoria are ground sharing, of course. It's been a valiant effort from both sides. Fantastic game to watch, it has to be said. And we close in. Taberner taking his time to take the goal kick. We'll keep an eye on the referee as he watches play continue. Northwich playing down the left-hand side again towards Matthews. And there's the final whistle of the game. It's finished here. Northwich Victoria 3, Sholing 1 after extra time. 1-1 at the end of full time. A fantastic game to watch for the neutral. A lot of respect going on the touchline. Dave Diper shaking hands. But Northwich come out victors and progress to the semi-finals of the Build Vase FA Vase 2018-2019. Over goes Jack Fleming, over towards the fans. Look at that. That's what it means to them. That's what it means to him. Chants all day. There's a flag, in fact, that sums this game up and sums the team up, sums Northwich Victoria up. The club that wouldn't die have now made their way into the semi-finals of the FA Vase. They've got flags out, scarves are waving, the drums out. Jake Hall sits on the floor That's really nice, actually, of Bradley Cook as well, the captain of Northwich. Hall just on the floor, just sitting down. Almost like picturing your child at a school assembly. He's just sitting there. It's nice to see the players all applauding each other. As we've said, it's been a great game. And they all go over now. Dave Diaper taking the players over towards the travelling fans. Sholing still applauding, still chanting. That's what we like to see at this level. And they all go over. That's brilliant to see. That really is brilliant to see for Dave Diaper and his team to travel all this way, to get so close, to not quite make it, but to describe the scenes in front of me. There's shirts over faces. Dan Miller has just pulled the shirt over his face. The Sholing fans applauding a fantastic performance today. It really is disappointing from our perspective, of course. And to the right, I think it's only safe to describe what's going to happen. The Northwich Victoria players going over to the fans. Great celebration. How good was that?
Yeah, I mean, it's Northwich Victoria, you know, congratulations. Best of luck in the next round. But it's almost heartbreaking, Matt, to see the reaction here of these Sholing players. They're absolutely gutted, and so are we. But, you know, can only applaud their efforts and, you know, better and have a go next year.
Dave's obviously making his way to his dressing room, but I can get you through to the dressing room if you want.
No, I don't want to drag him up here out of his way.
So thank you for everyone who's listened today. Northwich Victoria victorious here. I had that one in mind, Greg, don't worry. Here at Winsham Park, home of Whitton Albion Football Club of the Evo Stick Northern Premier League. It's finished. Northwich Victoria 3, Sholing FC 1. Huge thanks to Greg Dixon for joining me, and of course to Matt Ogley. And of course you can listen to Sport on Sonar Monday nights. It's the Monday night debate, 6 till 8 on radiosonar.co.uk. Luke's Football Friday preview, that happens between 12 and 2 on a Friday. That's why it's called Luke's Football Friday preview. Our Saturday live show continues again next week on Radio Sonar, 2 till 5 p.m. The fans over towards the right celebrating once again. They're happy, they're thrilled. But we're doing more live commentaries, hopefully back at Sholing again very soon. But here from Cheshire, it's finished. Northwich Victoria 3, Sholing FC 1. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you.